of the Girlstreamers. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the Girlstreamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be introducing you to some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora, and with me tonight we have, that is not T. Fredrickson, that is iPixelDot. I swear to God, OBS, I changed you. Why did you not change when I told you to change? So as I do this on the fly, we'll be taking questions as always at the end of the podcast. All you have to do is type in !Q&A, and this is a live podcast, but please don't forget we are available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. So what's up, Pixel? How you doing? How has your week been?
Not too bad. I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Not doing much at all, but playing games and streaming, but that's a good thing, right?
Sounds like a good week to me. Yes, I know that. But it now reflects your name underneath your face, so it's right. It's right. So how did you come up with your screen name?
The funny thing is, when I first started streaming, it was like 2 years ago. I did a video on YouTube, and people have problems finding my old username, which was like Leapfrog, but it had like the numbers in it and everything.
Oh, Leet Speak, yeah.
And people I even had people like, I don't even know how to say that. And I'm like, really? It's Leapfrog. And then people were, because it was my Xbox gamer tag, and people's like, I can't find you on the Xbox place. And I'm like, okay. So I tried it myself, and it kept pulling up this other profile. I'm like, what the heck? And I tried to get a hold of Microsoft. They're like, there's nothing we could do. I'm like, that's bullshit. Come on, there's got to be something. And then one of the finally got a hold of someone by the phone, and they're like, well, the only thing I could suggest is change your username. And I'm like, that's $10. I think it's $10 to do it or something like that. It's crazy.
Holy
I'm
cow.
like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, this has got to stop, because my YouTube video was going crazy at the time, and I'm like, people were complaining they couldn't find me, and they didn't believe my video, because what it was is I was collecting power armor and seeing how many I can do, which was a ridiculous amount of numbers. So I finally changed it, and it took me forever to decide what username, and I picked something like a play on my first name, which is Dot. My real name is Dot. And I'm a graphic designer.
Learned that last night in Fibbage.
Yeah. And then I was trying to find something to go along with it that also go along with my my professional career, which is I'm a graphic designer. So I'm like, I know, pixels, draw with pixels.
I like it.
And then I tried putting in PixelDot on there, and Microsoft rejected that username. I'm like, seriously? So I'm like, I'll just throw an I on it just to make fun of the iMacs and stuff. And it just went from there, and I was able to grab that username on all platforms that I can think of. And so that's how I got my username.
Nice. I didn't realize you were a graphic designer. That's cool.
Oh yeah, went to school and everything.
Nice.
I got a expensive piece of paper on my wall for it.
Mine is still technically rolled up and in the closet over there because I have not gotten it framed yet. I should get it framed. I should be proud of that. It took me long enough to get it.
That's what my mom said, and she's the one that got me the frame. She's like, you need to put it in this thing. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
So, where are you from?
I am from Southern Ohio, so I got that Appalachian spiel with the rest of Ohio.
Nice. I love how your dog went under, as you were talking, your dog went under your blanket. And I just saw him do the, the 3 turns and then finally lay down.
Oh, yeah, he's got
hilarious.
dachshund in him.
I keep seeing the blanket slowly rise and fall with his breathing. It's hilarious. So funny.
Probably
I love
hear him
it.
snoring soon.
Oh my goodness. So, I didn't realize you were from Ohio.
Yeah.
You're not that far from me then.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta, so you're really not that far at all.
Atlanta.
Yeah. So I think Ohio is a 9 to 10 hour drive. Well, depending on what part of Ohio, but it's roughly 9 to 10 hour drive. Funny
It's
enough,
like,
I know a lot of people who are from Ohio that I'm friends with, that are all from Ohio, and all happen to be from the same area of Ohio, and a couple of them happen to know each other but didn't come down here at the same time. One
sounds
girl
about right.
is a counselor at a camp that another girl's children go to, but
Oh, wow.
they didn't know that they were both down here, and then they happened to meet up at the same church. And they're like, "Wait, I know you. Wait, I know." Like, weird. It was weird. It was weird. So what's the first game that you played that got you into the gaming world?
There was a Sesame Street game on the NES, believe it or not. And I was real big on that game. I was like 4 or 5 at the time, so give me a break. It was the first game that was ever given to me as a kid. I mean, it was one of my first.
You were in your 20s playing the Sesame
I
Street
still
game.
own it, believe it or not.
I do.
And then before that, though, I have much older cousins, thanks to my mom's 9-year difference between her and her brother. I have a much older cousin that had one of those tabletop games from Radio Shack. It was called Zackman.
Okay.
And that thing was cool. And I played that a lot. And my cousin ended up giving it to us. I still have that too.
Are you talking about like those things before the Game Boy? Like it was the one game?
It's a tabletop. It takes like 8, 9 batteries. Yep. You know, those D-sized batteries. The things could kill someone if you chucked it.
I remember those little things like they had, like Disney had a ton of them. They're like Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, this thing was bigger than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was what they call a tabletop game. I don't even know. I think it came out in like 1982, so it tells you a little bit how old that sucker is.
Wow.
I know they're highly collectible now.
I'm sure they are. Man, when we were cleaning out my grandma's house, my brother and I found a Monopoly. No. It was a Wheel of Fortune game.
Oh my god.
And it had the QWERTY keyboard and everything, and then it had like the buttons to spin and solve and all that stuff.
I have one of those.
I turned it on and it still worked.
I have one of those.
Those things are awesome.
For the record, I am not a hoarder. I collect video games, especially the retro stuff. So I have a lot of this stuff. I also collect board games, especially Monopoly. I have like 20 different types of Monopoly board games.
There's so many out there. What's your favorite ones? What's your favorite Monopoly version?
The Fallout 4 by far.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a Fallout one.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. I as soon as it came out, I had it on pre-order. I'm like, heck yeah! And my sister's like, only my sister will pre-order a Monopoly game. I'm like, but it's Fallout 4, Amanda. Give me a break.
Hey, no shame. We all collect our own things. I collect Christmas teddy bears and cameras. Husband collects.
Oh, I love cameras. I collect those too.
I collect.
You might as well just say I'm a hoarder.
Right? I married a hoarder, so. And it's bad because I have hoarding tendencies. And with the hoarding husband, it gets worse. I used to not be quite as bad, so I really have to go through and clean up my houses. Like, we need to go through a serious spring cleaning system right now. So I feel you. So how long have you been streaming?
Streaming officially, probably about a little over 2 years. And
Really?
then it started out. I started out not. I wasn't a streamer originally. I started out. Fallout 4 came out, and about the same time it came out, and I had it pre-ordered, of course. I lost my job, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna play this game until I die. Which, no, I didn't. But I was playing it, and I was talking to some friends over at GamingTribe.com, and I'm like, you know what? I need to figure out what I want to collect, because in Fallout 3, I collected the Nuka bottles and just dumped them every time I came into my home, which was hilarious. And then I need to collect something that's just as funny, but just as equally a little bit challenging. And then my niece heard me talking to her. She's like, "You should do the power armors. That'd be funny." Because they said in the beginning, Bethesda did, that it would be hard to collect the power armors. I'm like, you know what? Challenge accepted. And so I started collecting these power armors, and I built my settlement around these power armors. And at the time, I started with like 20 different power armors, and it was unheard of at the time to have that many.
So
And
you said you're not a hoarder, right?
I am in a gaming world. Give me a break. And then and one of my friends over at the website, they're like, "I don't believe you. There's no way you have that many power armors." I'm like, "Yeah." And I sent him a screenshot because I did it on my Xbox One. He's like, "Did you build a building for them too?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I need to put them somewhere." And so he's like, "Show me a video. Show us a tour of your place." And I'm like, so I did, and I uploaded it on YouTube, and then I uploaded a bunch of screenshots on Imager. And then it exploded. Like, I had no idea it was going to explode. And I mean, I'm talking within a week, I had 15,000 views on this video. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I can't do this. What is this? And people like wanting more videos about it. I'm like, okay. So I did 2 more videos and more pictures of the screenshot. And I ended up with 300 before I stopped doing all that. And before the 3rd video, somebody talked me into live streaming, so I tried live streaming, and that was about when live stream was introduced to the Xbox One. So I started live streaming it and showing people how to build and all that fun stuff. And then that's when about the same time I changed my username, because I'm like, I need to market myself, because if I'm gonna do this, I want to make it look good, because that's the graphic designer in me.
Right.
I want it just to be good, so that's what I did, and it went crazy.
You sound like Carice when you're talking about that, because that's one of, she's like, we need the same name across all formats, which is why it drives us nuts that we can't get Girlstreamers for the Twitch channel. We can't get that name back. So we went with, the underscore Inc. just because having the underscore looks stupid, without anything behind it. But that took us, so I totally understand that, because I've heard her make those comments before, and I mean they're right. I mean, that's actually a very valid.
Like, people ask me like, "What's your Twitter? What's your Twitter account?" I'm like, iPixelDot. It's like that no matter what. And I'm like, oh, duh. I'm like,
yeah, for marketing advice, if you want to be found, have the same name across all formats.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like for my professional work, like in the film industry and stuff, I go by, because I never dropped my maiden name, so I go by all 4 names. But in everyday life, I'm just, my first and last name. But professionally, like, when you go look me up on IMDb and stuff like that, I go by all 4 names, because of what my name is, it's easier for people to remember, because my name is a very terrible, generic, horrible name. But if you say, oh, it's da-da-da-da, oh yeah, it's that girl, they're gonna remember that more, because they're gonna be like, wow, it's the girl with the 4 names, the 4 generic names. Okay, yeah, let's...
I don't have that problem.
You're lucky.
I actually hated my name originally, because my how I'm named, my real name is is Dorothy Louise. And they're
I
both
like it.
family names from both sides of the family. And my mom used to call me Dottie Lou, and I'm like, I hate that name so much. And then I found out they used to call her Patty Lou when she was little. That's why she started calling me that. So I started calling her Mama Lou, and she's like, no. I'm like, then stop calling me that.
That's funny. That's such a southern like country name too. My great grandmother's name was Luella. That was her name. It wasn't Louisella. It was Luella, like, and capital E, Luella. So, so what is the most embarrassing thing to happen to you on stream so far?
Bless his heart, my nephew. He's 8 or 9 years old.
Bless his heart. Oh God, this is gonna be good.
And he has like, he doesn't know how, he's still learning his, the social cues in life, like he knows when I'm streaming. He's fascinated with the stream. Like he tells his friends and everything. It's so cute. Well, one of those times he was over and I was streaming, he just stood in my doorway and just like poked his head. And like some of my viewers like, Dot, you have someone in your door. Like, are you okay? Do not, forgot, he was very, very concerned. He's like, do not turn around, just be ready to attack. I'm like, so I turned around, of course. I'm like, Aiden, what are you doing? He's like, I just wanted to see. I'm like, Aiden, just go to the website and watch it there in the living room. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, but like, it was so oh my god. He looked creepy because the shadow just like beamed on his face. And he was upset because he thought I was mad. I'm like, no, not that.
He's what, 8, 9 years old, you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's still, oh my god.
He'll stream every once in a while on my channel just because he's like, I want to stream. And so he'll talk to people. And I'm like, you have like 0 views right now. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to talk. I'm like,
hey,
okay, go for it.
That's smart. You gotta talk to nobody when you're beginning. So there you go.
Well, the funny thing is when he talks, he tells them like his life story and everything. Oh my God. He's really good at Cuphead. I'm like, he needs something to do, so I let him stream Cuphead, and he has fun.
My little cousin, it's funny to say you have a little cousin who loves that. My little cousin loves the fact that, 1, we're huge gamers, me and the husband. 2, he loves the fact that I stream. So he, whenever I'm at his house, because his mom is like my big sister, so I consider them more nephews than cousins. And so when I'm ever at their house, he's like, Ashley, come here. I want to show you. You got to see my buddy who's on YouTube, And I'm like, he's showing me these, like, they're 13 now, but, like, these 13 kids streaming on YouTube and stuff. And I'm like, great. That is fantastic. Awesome. Like, I don't give a shit to watch a 13-year-old kid stream. And whenever he comes over, he's like, he does the same thing. He wants to watch me stream. And his brother graduated high school Friday, so we went up there, and he's like, you play Fortnite, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, what do you play on? I was like, PC. He's like, all right, I play on PS4. We need to add each other. I gotta show you who's the better Fortnite player. And I'm like, clearly PC is the master race in Fortnite right now, so come on. You don't have a chance in hell, which is probably inaccurate. The kid probably is better at, I'm sure he's better at every game that exists, because, they're younger. But yeah, that's funny, because I feel like he would do the same shit if it weren't for the fact that the door is in front of me instead of behind me.
I wish I was that smart.
I had to move it around just because we have 2 offices in one small room, essentially, so, God, that is so great.
Not bad.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who has one of those in their family. One of those kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's honestly probably the only thing that was really entertaining. That happened to me on stream. I'm like, oh, Aiden.
So would you call that the most memorable moment then?
One of them, yeah.
Do you have any more memorable moments?
When I was this happened about a month ago with you guys actually, and I was streaming, just minding my own business. I forgot what game I was streaming. Probably something not even fun to watch. And all of a sudden, I get raided by Girlstreamers. I'm like, what the hell? And like 50 people dropped on me. I'm like, what? I can't do this. What is this? And then
Nice.
my mod, he's like, who are these people? And I'm like, they're my Girlstreamers. But it was awesome. I enjoyed it. And I think I ended up giving away a game just because I was that excited. And I'm like,
oh, nice, man. I'm sorry I missed that raid. Damn, I like free games.
good raid. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. We don't do raids often, but we try to.
I know. I'm like, what the heck? When did they do this?
So, wow, 50 people, that had to have been Carice playing Cuphead for real.
Probably. I don't know, but I'm like, holy crap.
Nice. So what type of games do you tend to play and stream?
I try to play like the MMOs, FPS, whatever I'm in the mood for, basically. Which could be all over the place. I never can decide what game I want to play, and then like I'll constantly ask people, I'm like, what should I play? What should I play? They're like, they'll give me suggestions. I'll try playing it, and I'm like, this ain't happening. I'm changing games. It's really bad streaming etiquette there, but I am terrible when it comes to deciding what game to play. Lately I've been playing Far Cry 5. Beat it. I'm playing it again on hard mode.
How did you like it? I haven't played it, but I've seen it. It looks like a good game.
I love it personally. I played Far Cry 3 and 4, and I played Blood Dragon. I played the Primal one, but I haven't finished it, which is the only Far Cry game I haven't finished. But I love them.
How similar are they to the previous Far Cry game? I think you were in the chat when we were talking to one of my followers was in chat with me, and I think it was either you or Miss Drew, and we were talking about the Far Cry game, and they're like, it's because one of the guys was like, it's the same game as the previous Far Cry games, and whoever was there said,
I think it was me.
I think it was you, because I think you were like,
Far Cry 1 and 2 is completely different genre almost. I don't even think it's third person view. Maybe it is. I don't remember. It's been when I played Far Cry 3, it was a fluke. A friend gave me the game. They're like, you just play this. I'm like, okay. So I played it. I'm like, oh my crap, I can't finish playing this. And I beat it, and I 100% it. And then I'm like, I need more of this. I need more of this. You know, it's kind of like that crack cocaine in my life. And I'm like, I need more. So I went to GameStop, or LameStop, if you want to call it that. And I picked up Far Cry, I think the first Far Cry game, and I started playing it. I'm like, oh, hell no, I ain't playing this. This is shitty. So I took it back to GameStop the next day. It just so happened when my brother's friend works there. He's a manager. And I returned, and he's like, so what's wrong with the game? I said, it sucked. He laughed. He's like, I could have told you that. And he's like, you thought it'd be like the new Far Cry game, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, I was looking for something like that. He's like, yeah, it's completely different. He's like, I think he's the one that told me that it was like a different studio altogether, and that's why there was such a huge difference. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I love the new Far Cry games. I love 3 and 4 and 5. I mean, Blood Dragon was hilarious because when it came out, I thought it was a DLC that you had to have the base game, you know, that type. Because that's how they advertised it. I thought it was a DLC, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then someone told me like, oh, you don't have to have the base game for this. I'm like, what kind of DLC is that? And so I started playing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious because they basically use the same skins for Far Cry 3, they just changed it to have like an 80s like VHS vibe to it, like action
Nice.
vibe, and it was hilarious. I'm like, this is awesome. So I like these guys. I
Nice.
totally recommend the games to anyone.
All right, Far Cry 5 is a beautiful looking game.
Oh yes.
I mean, that game is gorgeous. I can.
I didn't think they could improve on Far Cry games, and they were able to do it. I was impressed. I'm like, this, it's very well optimized. You could play it like the lowest settings and still enjoy it.
Nice.
Well, I mean, they did. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on YouTube where people had completely lowered the settings. It looks like you're playing against clay, but you get my draft. It's actually very well optimized. Like, you can stream it real easy. If I can stream it, anybody can, to be honest.
So, what's your favorite game? Well, what's your favorite game right now? And then, what's your favorite game of all times?
My favorite game right now, probably Far Cry 5. And my all-time is any of the Fallout games, honestly. I'm a huge Fallout geek. And, like, you know how Chris is obsessed with steampunk? I totally understand it, because I'm a huge steampunk dork. Because anything steampunk, I jump on it. And when I started playing the Fallout didn't help that at all, obviously.
Right.
It's got that punk down very well. And I just love the storylines and stuff. And it's just like, look, I need more, you know? Like, I have over 1,200 hours on Fallout 4, and I haven't touched the game in a year.
Damn, girl!
So,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
It's crazy. But I need to play it again. Someone got it for me on Steam, and I need to play that. Because all I have it on is the Xbox One.
So, you're mostly a console gamer then? More than a PC gamer?
Originally, I started out mainly console, and then I've been working on my PC, trying to get it up and running. That's a whole other story with my PC. But I finally got a decent PC, so I can do my graphic design work, and then I'm like, you know what? Might as well make this a working PC. So, like, I'm gonna stream PC games. And then, like, a bunch of my friends found out, and they're like, let me help you. Here's a free game. I'm like, guys, stop. I got too many games haven't even touched yet. I still have too many games. But,
I mean, don't we all have a massive backlog? I mean, that's a
mine's
true gamer.
Ridiculous. I have probably 400 games, and I probably touched maybe 50. That's not good. But, so I started it, and of course, you know, you come to that realization, like, oh, I get why people like the PC Master Race so much. They get a lot of free games. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities out there for free games, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll start doing this. And so I started streaming PC games, and then
it's
Xbox
only because it's easier to make a PC game because you don't have those barriers like you do for console. And Mac is a completely different setup than PC.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Overwatch, for example, when they were creating Overwatch, all the updates and stuff actually come later because there is like a certain thing that Blizzard has to hit before PlayStation and Xbox updates will go out. And Kaplan like came out and said this is why these are delayed and why these are going to always be after PC, because PC was smart in the fact that they made it so open and easy access for everything. So that's, you know, unfortunately why PC is the quote unquote master race, because it's easy to create a game and throw it up on PC so much easier than it is for console or Mac or even
there's certain games I prefer to play on Xbox just because I don't have to worry about glitches or crashing all the time. Like, I'm actually going to get Dishonored 2 on the Xbox just because it won't run on my computer. It crashes the same place every time, and I'm like, And I'm like, and a couple friends were like, "I'll just do this trick." I'm like, you know what? I don't have to do any of this shit on Xbox. I'm just gonna buy the game for the Xbox. They're like, "Oh no, don't give up." I'm like, I'm not giving up. I'm still gonna play the game.
Right. I feel that way about Rockstar games. I like all of the Grand Theft Auto games. I would rather play on PlayStation. I mean, just because I have a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation person. Um, and like Red Dead Redemption, I know the second one's going to come out on PC, but I'd rather play it on PlayStation. I would rather. That's a game I would enjoy more on console, and because like you said, I think that is one advantage that console does have over PC because of the fact that they have to wait and meet certain standards because they have to go through Sony. And well, I'm surprised Xbox isn't a little bit easier since it's Microsoft, but at least for Sony there are certain things they have to hit, so it is a little bit more difficult to get it on console versus, so of course it's going to be a little bit more bug free on console versus PC, just because you don't have to go through that wall. So do you have a main game, or would you say you're actually a pretty big variety streamer? You kind of play a little bit of everything.
I'm more variety than anything. Of course, you're always got those certain games that you're a staple on, but I consider myself more variety just because I never could decide what game I want to play.
Now, what is it that attracts you so much about, at least about the Fallout games? What is it that you like so much about the Fallout games?
I absolutely love the storyline. It's like, it's a unique storyline. And
you say that like I should know. Like, you sound so defensive. Like, it's the storyline. Duh. God, come on. Get with the program.
There's a lot, like, I don't know if you actually played any of the games and pay attention to the stories that the characters talk, and, like, you can explore certain areas and learn about what happened in that area, like when the bomb came down. And you'll go in this room and you're like, what the hell just happened there? There's a skeleton with a bonnet on and a bunch of toys wrapped surrounding it, having a tea party. What is going on? It's one of those things like, whoa, what is that? It's just, I enjoy the humor they have and everything.
I heard they have a lot of really, really good. The story for Fallout is really good. I tried to play Fallout 4. It's kind of a slow start. So, and I mean, it doesn't. Where I played it was at some like gaming pub thing that we've been to. So that we go to around here called Battle and Brew.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I got a chance to test play it. And I was like, what am I doing here? This is stupid. This is boring. So I couldn't get into it, but I think it also had to do with the atmosphere that I was in. Because when I watch people play Fallout, it looks so fun. But they've also gotten a lot farther than I did in the game. So, I mean, I've looked up the story, and I agree with you. The story for Fallout is actually really cool. It's an interesting story.
I hear people say, I don't want to play the game because it's so expensive. I'm like, but it's such a huge game. I'm like, even at $30, I think it's what it is lately. It's been $30. I mean, that's a really good deal. I thought it was a good deal when it was at $60. And I pre-ordered it, so I paid the full value on that and the DLC, or the season pass, and I absolutely love it. I do not think I wasted money at all on the game. And that says a lot, because there's some games where I played and I'm like, this is a waste of money. I wanted more time in this game.
See, and I hate games that you spend $60 on and it's like, okay, I wasted my money on this game. Like, I'm done with it in 3 hours. That to me is not a $60 worth of game. If you finish it in just a couple of hours. But like Fallout is but if it's one of those games that you can go back to, even if you do finish it, within, a certain amount of time, but you can still go back and do more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, I
Oh,
think you
yeah.
get your money's worth out. Because I think replayability actually plays a lot into what makes a game a good game.
That game is so big. Like I said, I put 1,200 hours in my game. I haven't even hit all the areas in the game, and I on Xbox, you know how you can, I don't know if you know, but on Xbox you can see like you can compare your gameplay to your friends on your list.
Oh,
And then
really?
it
Okay.
tells you like all the with Fallout 4, it tells you all the locations and how many your friends have found compared to yours. I'm number 4 on my list. And the guy that's number 1, he has like almost 200 more locations than me. I'm like, where is he getting these locations? I've gone all over that map. I'm like, what the heck? But it's amazing, like how much of the gameplay can be for each person on that game. And I don't know how Bethesda did it, but I think they did a really good job on the game.
Nice. So E3 is just around the corner. And I am super excited because this is the first year that I'm really gonna actually be paying attention to E3. I normally don't. And the only reason why I'm really paying attention is because of our news show that we have for Girlstreamers. Ha ha ha, plug, ha ha, humble brag, ha ha. Okay, alright. Anyway, so this is the first year that I'm really gonna be paying attention to E3. And oh my god, there's so much stuff already coming out.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
gonna be on E3. Is there anything right now that, game wise that you're excited about? Anything coming out about E3? Like anything you're looking forward to?
I've been following E3 for the past 4 or 5 years, and the last big E3 I really enjoyed, I think, was 2 years ago, and then it's when Fallout 4 came out, actually, and that's what got me all pumped up about Fallout 4 was E3. And then this year I'm excited for Cyberpunk 2077. It's by the same people that came out with the Witcher games. I know you're not a big fan of the Witcher, but it's the same guys.
No, the Witcher games.
The
Witcher 3 is a beautiful game. It is, and it's actually not a bad storyline. The voice acting is just not good in Witcher 3. They definitely lacked on the voice acting, but everything else with the game is actually really good. Well, I feel like Witcher 3 would actually play better with a controller than it does on mouse and keyboard. Because trying to play with mouse and keyboard, it's kind of clunky. But yeah, sorry. I like the Witcher 3 game.
I think the company's called CD Red Project or something like that. I'm super excited because I'm kind of surprised you haven't heard. You probably have heard of Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
I believe it started out as a video game, then they turned it into it's kind of like D&D. It's like a book series of games. And I've never been big on D&D and all that, so
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, I actually have friends who. Okay, all right. Yep, I know what you're talking about now. Yep.
I'm not big on that genre of gaming, but I have high respect for it. You know what I mean? And when I saw that they were coming out with a video game, and then I started watching their teaser trailer, because they have a teaser trailer out now, and I'm like, holy crap, this is gonna be amazing. And they have promises it's gonna be really in-depth storyline. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. Because I like as well as I like steampunk, I like the cyberpunk genre too.
I did not realize they were coming out with a video game for it, though.
Oh my gosh, yes. They just announced it, I think, in November. They came out with a random trailer saying, oh, by the way, we're doing this. And they dropped it. And then I do believe they said they're going to come out with even more about it on E3. So I'm super excited to see E3 just because of that. Although this E3 is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Because there's so many awesome stuff going on already, as you said. And it's going to be bigger than the last couple years, I think.
Last year, I paid a little bit of attention last year, and there really wasn't a whole lot of stuff that came out last year. Zelda was probably the biggest success, I think, that came out of E3 last year. And it always happens around my birthday time. So I wish that I could go to E3.
Oh, I wish I could too.
For my birthday. But
I just want to go to a con. I've never been to a con.
What?
I
need
know.
to come down here and go to Dragon Con.
Scratch that. I've been to a Horror Hound convention, which is like, you know, your horror movie genre convention. I've been to that only because my boyfriend at the time dragged me to it, and I like horror movies. It's one of those things I admire them in the storyline. I don't like watching them all the time like he did, and so I had fun.
That's the husband. He likes B horror films. My husband likes B, C, and D, and awful horror films.
We got to meet a few of the actors. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of the actors' names, but it was fun. My feet hurt by the end of the day, and I'm like, I want to go to a real. And then he got mad at me when I said I wanted to go to a real convention. He's like, "This is a real convention." I'm like, "But it's your convention. I want to go to one that I want to go to. I want to go to one that has to do with electronics, or at least video games." I'm like, hell, it could be a freaking toy show for all I care. I want to go to one of those. And
I think you would like Dragon Con. You should come down and go to Dragon Con with us.
Oh, I should. I need to put that on my wish list for life.
Dragon Con is officially one of the top 3 conventions of the nation. It's up there with Gen Con and San Diego Comic Con. That's how big Dragon Con is. And,
wow.
Yeah, it's massive. I think last year it was 80,000. Did it hit 80,000?
It almost hit 100.
Oh, I'm sorry. It almost hit 100,000 last year. It was really...
Oh, wow.
There were a lot of people last year. And it's all held in hotel rooms. So it's spread out around the city. So you get to see a good bit of Atlanta when you go to it. And the tickets are actually reasonably priced for a 4-day event. Shameless plug, come to Dragon Con. We did have a Girlstreamer meetup last year, which went over very well.
I do remember that.
So, you know, we'll have another one. I just won't have cool swag with me this year. Because everything's going for TwitchCon this year. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, you're coming to Dragon Con. I will make sure to have the couch open for you. But yeah, I think you would enjoy Dragon Con because it's kind of got a little bit of everything for everybody. It's really big with the cosplay stuff. But they have various tracks, like the British track where they focus on, you know, British TV and stuff like that, like Doctor Who. They have like a young adult.
Love Doctor Who.
Me too. They he also played Radagast. I can't think of his name, and I don't remember which number he played, but he played Radagast in the Hobbit films. He's been to the last 2 Dragon Cons. I cannot think of his name right now. Maybe chat can help me out. I don't remember which number he is. But, yeah, we've had a couple, and then I know Ian Baker was here last year. Yeah, who is, like, the favorite Doctor Who. Yeah, so there's been a lot of... telling you, man. I think you would enjoy Dragon Con because it's kind of a little bit of everything. You've got the cool tech tracks and stuff. You even have some military tracks, which they go into.
That's cool.
Like, yeah, it's actually really cool stuff. What they do, they tell you like what they do in the military. It's actually really well done. They have, you know, sci-fi. Obviously, several sci-fi tracks. The parties, of course, are dope. Like, that's all I can say. They are dope AF. They're so fun. They have a Yule Ball. I dressed up as Tonks one year and got to parade in my Tonks costume. Anyway. So, yeah. That is a rather large convention. So, if you have bad anxiety, be careful with it. But, yeah. Dragon Con.
I'm medicated. We're good.
Okay, there you go. I think you would really enjoy Dragon Con, so you should put that on your list to visit. And it's not that far, and you know people down here, so there you go.
Please. I'll have to look into it for sure.
So what game would you want to have a reboot or a remastering of?
Well, let's see. I'm pretty big on the retro game side, so
Right.
I know they came out with a board game, and I was a little okay with it. Oregon Trail. I mean, I would love to see them like do something with that. They would have to get creative, of course, but I think they can do it.
They actually had a mobile version of Oregon Trail
I forgot about that.
a while ago, but I don't think they ever updated it for smartphones. Because I had it on this slide phone that I had, which you could slide it and get the full keyboard. That phone was so cool. It was definitely one of the best phones I had. But it was, one of the really small like screens. But that's about it as far as a reboot of Oregon Trail. That's about it. Have you played
There's a third-party game right now called Oregon Trail, but it's organ as in like your body organs, because it's a zombie style of game. And it was good, but I'm like, I want Oregon Trail, like Oregon Trail, not like the little. I thought that was a good play on the game, though. I'm like, yeah, that's not bad.
So you want the legit Oregon Trail?
Yes.
Like what we played in school whenever we went to the computer lab.
I want my nieces and my nephew to play it, because, I mean, come on.
I feel that game seriously was so fun. It was stupid how much fun we had with it. And I have found like simulators and stuff and have played it. And have been just as bad now as I was back then playing it because it's so bad. But it's so
I like
good.
the honey in it.
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like, I never was able to master the hunting. It's so simple, yet I couldn't do it.
Pretty much. It's kind of like the Mario, well, not Mario, but Duck Hunt.
My God,
you think you'd be able to win, but no. Stupid flashing screen.
It's a simple game, yet that freaking dog always pops up. Damn dog. Speaking of old games, is there a game that you would like to play again as if it were the first time?
Oh.
I know, I like this question.
There's a few of them, actually. Oh, here I go again. The genre. I would love to replay BioShock without knowing what's going on, because I didn't even. I'm notorious for playing a game and not reading about it and enjoying it. And that was one of those games. I'm like, oh, this was kind of cool. I'll check it out. And I'm playing. I'm like, holy crap! There's something chasing me. But I absolutely loved that game. Like I fell in love with that, and I played the second one, and I played Infinite, and I'm like, I can't wait. Then when I found out that they closed the studio down, and they said, we're never doing this again, I'm like, what? Are you stupid? You need to get that studio back together.
There are rumors that BioShock 3 is coming out.
I know, I did hear that lately, and I'm super excited.
I found that out a couple weeks ago, actually, and I was, it's like 2K Studios or something like that is doing it. I think it's who it is.
I think so.
So, yeah. Make it your wish.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
What other games?
Other games.
Any others that you can think of?
I'm tempted to say the Fallout 3, but I don't know.
What'd you think of Fallout New Vegas?
I liked it. How I looked at it, was like a continuation of 3 because they used basically everything the same, just a different storyline and location.
Because isn't there like either one? I can't remember. Because my brother played it, and he's like, "Don't play one, play the other." And I can't remember if he said, "Don't play 3, play New Vegas," or "Play New Vegas, don't play 3." Because he's like, one is better than the other, and that's like the general consensus. I don't remember. I haven't played the game, so I don't know.
I am not a normal Fallout player, so I'm not the best one to ask. I enjoyed them all. I played 3. I played Fallout 3 at least 3 or 4. No, more than that. 4 or 5 times, all the way through. And what I like about the games is you get like almost a completely different storyline, like how you end up.
Oh,
And
nice.
like in Fallout 4, I think there's like 4 or 5 different endings to the game. And that's how they are.
See, I'm like you. I like to go into a game and not really know what's going on.
Yeah, I like New Vegas. I played it 2 or 3 times through. But yeah, I enjoyed them.
Nice.
I don't put one over the other just because of that, but I'd say people probably prefer New Vegas over 3.
Okay.
Because they like that outlaw like feeling, and I'm like, I didn't care much for Caesar in it, or what they call Kaiser. I'm like, the pronunciation just threw me off. I'm like, no, we ain't mispronouncing it just because you got that voice. No.
So, what is the oldest game in your backlog that you have not beaten?
Whenever someone asks me that, I always say the same thing. Master Blaster on the NES. That game was hard. Like I don't even remember getting past the first level as a kid ever. And I'm like, and all I remember is how to get through this and this and this. But by the time I got to the end, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Die. Okay, we'll start over again.
Oh my god, I remember that game. Wow.
That's a game that they should come out with a new one, because that would be freaking sweet. And they got enough of a fan base that it'll do fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think they did come out with a sequel, but I don't remember anything about it.
So, this is a point in the podcast where we will kind of get into the more serious mode. Okay. Who inspires you to be the woman you are today?
Hands down, my mom. I actually lost my mom 3 years ago.
Oh, my
goodness. It was very sudden, out of the blue type thing. She suffered from CHS, which is congestive heart failure. She pretty much had a bad heart valve her whole life and didn't know it until a few years ago. Damn. When she had she had open heart surgery, and the doctor's like, we need to replace her heart valve. And my dad's like, what? Because we hadn't, like, that threw us up for a loop. And so I helped her get through that. I was out of college for a year, pretty much, and moved back in with my mom, pretty much to help take care of her and make sure that she did everything she's supposed to. I mean, I took care of her diet, everything. And so, of course, that got us real close, a lot closer than before. And so, I learned a lot about her. She learned a lot about me. We found out, one of my biggest secrets I held from her for a few years, and in college I found out I started having panic attacks on a daily basis and couldn't control them. And so my friends pushed me to go to the school's clinic, and then I went through the whole therapy stuff with them, and they're like, we think you have severe anxiety. And the only way you'll ever be able to control it is probably through medication and just trying to stay stress-free as much as possible. Right. And I'm like, okay. So I kept that secret from my mom for about 3 or 4 years before actually telling her. And I told her when she had the open heart surgery, I'm like, hey, Mom, I have this issue. And she's like, first she wasn't a big fan, because that in my family was not very kosher to be on medication for anything really for long periods of time, and it's one of those things. And then I told her, I said, all right. She's like, have you actually been seeing a doctor? Because I transferred from schools too in the middle of all that. And I'm like, yes, I'm seeing the school psychologist. He is an actual doctor. He has a doctorate and everything. And she's like, okay. And she took it a lot better than I thought she would, to be completely honest. Because I told her, because I felt with her CHS that she had it, and she was in complete denial that she had it. And I'm like, so in my mind, I'm like, I need to tell her that she's not alone, basically.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
And, sorry, I'm a little emotional about it. But, So I told her, and she's fine with it. And she actually started getting help with herself for it, and she had it real bad too. And then we started talking. I'm like, Mom, do you think this might have been a family issue? Because my sister was diagnosed about 2 years ago herself, and I know my grandma had it. My grandma was freaking OCD to the max. I mean, we used to tease her, joke about it, because my grandma taught us how to clean her house, and that's how specific she was about cleaning her house. She had toilet paper rolls, like certain brands for certain things in a house to clean with. Like the window had to be a certain brand. I think it was Bounty for the window. And she's like, you know how they tell you to rub it until you squeak? She's like, that's how I want you to clean my windows. I'm like, are you serious, girl? But yeah, I mean, we found out it was a genetic thing, and my mom finally accepted that it was most likely a genetic thing, and then her seeds just didn't help that. Right. But I learned a lot through my mom, and I learned that who to depend on in my life, how I should trust people, how to be me, basically. And like, because that's the one thing I fought my whole life was trying to be me. Yeah. And I guess the best way you can say, I use humor to hide myself sometimes, and I don't see it as a bad thing, because I like seeing how people laugh. I like to see how I don't like seeing people sad all the time. So I'm always that one person that's like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you sure? Do we need to go get a drink or something? You know, I've always been that type of person, and I know I get it from my mom quite a bit. And like when my mom left, it was devastating. And to be honest, streaming actually helped me get out of that slump I was down bad, like I didn't even want to leave. It got to the point where I didn't want to leave the house or anything, because I'm like, I can't do anything without my mom. She was my best friend. She was my support beam. She was that one person I needed in my life.
That I actually completely understand. The reason I started streaming is because I had a loss as well. So I completely understand that, because there's something cathartic about putting yourself out there in this kind of format, playing a game, and taking that not only, yeah, there's criticism and trolliness, but I think the positivity that comes along with it is what is so helpful.
She was the one that got me into video gaming. She was a bigger gamer than I was. Seriously, nice. Like when the Wii came out, the first Wii, not the Wii U. We always joked about this, that we bought the Wii on the black market, because this is how it was. Kmart had it. You know how everyone sold out that Christmas. My mom had a cousin that was a manager at the Kmart, and she held one back for us. And nice. So I went with my mom to go pick it up, and so we paid for it back in the layaway department, and my mom's cousin, she's like, you can't show this while you're walking out. So we had put all our coats on top of this game system in our cart so we can walk out of there. I'm like, holy crap, Mom, I feel like we just bought this off the black market. My mom always laughed about that. She was a really big gamer, like bad, and people always tease me, and they're like, you're a real big gamer. Well, how did you get so big? I said, probably because my mom was a big gamer. She was even bigger than I was.
That's awesome. Oh my god. I wish I could have I would have gotten along well with your mom. That is so great.
She had her own game systems. She had at least 3 at one point in time, and I wasn't even allowed to touch them. Like, Mom, we need to play games together. No, you go play in your room.
I would have been that mom. That's awesome. I remember having my parents wanted to get my brother a Wii when it came out, but the second time it came out, because there was a lot of issues with the first run, and so the second run, when they got really really when they just, I don't know how my mom found it, but I swear to God she did some kind of voodoo to get one of those, because I remember looking for that thing literally everywhere. I literally went all over the state of Georgia looking for a frickin' Wii for my little brother. Oh man, yep. God, I got my mom addicted to Animal Crossing.
My mom was big on Spyro. Crap. There's some other ones similar to it. She liked that type of genre. And I used to tease her, I'm like, Mom, these are kiddie games. She's like, leave me alone. She's like, I have Zelda too. I'm like, okay, I'll give you that.
Hey, Spyro's a good game. Come on.
She used to crack me up with Zelda. I think it's the game. I forgot when Zelda was. From the GameCube to the Wii U, it mirrors the world.
Okay.
She beat the one on the GameCube. She's like, I want to get it for the Wii U. I'm like, it's a mirrored world. Everything's backwards. She's like, it's a challenge I want to take up. I'm like, okay. So we got her the game, and she played 10 minutes. She's like, no, hell no, no. Give me my DS. I'd rather play the DS.
Oh man, that's awesome though. So, what do you like about being a part of Girlstreamers?
I call me a dork or whatever. I like the camaraderie about it. I like that we all basically get along because we all understand each other. And at the same time, we got each other's backs. Knock on wood, I haven't seen like any big drama, and I've been with you guys probably about almost a year now, I think. I don't even remember. But I absolutely love it. And I love how like, oh, do you need help with this? I can help you with that. That's no problem. No strings attached, And I love that. And it doesn't matter how many viewers you have, how much experience you have, like it's just we'll help you, no problem. And I absolutely love that.
I mean, it's kind of in our motto: support, help, grow. I'm so glad that you have that literal experience with it.
I remember when I first found you guys. I'm like, I forgot how I came. I think I saw a streamer, and I'm like, what's this community they're a part of? So I clicked it, these Girlstreamers, and I'm like, oh, Girlstreamers. I bet it's just a bunch of like sissy girls with the big boobs and stuff. That bad rep that girl gamers have, pretty much, especially with Twitch. And then I started looking. I'm like, I'll give them the doubt. So I started looking, and I found your website, and I'm like, this is actually exactly what I needed in my life. This looks cool. Like, these girls don't look like fake Barbie dolls, and I love it. And so I joined.
People.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sign up. I want to try to become, because I wanted, at the time, I need, in my head, it was like one of the back burner things. I needed to step up my streaming game, and I needed help. And because I was by myself, I didn't know how to do it. I was basically watching what people were doing on Twitch, picking and choosing what I liked that they did. And I'm like, okay. And I've learned a lot since joining you guys, in a good way.
I have learned a lot since joining Girlstreamers. Because there's a lot, like, when you're starting out as a YouTuber, I mean, as any kind of streamer, any kind of new media creator, you have no idea how to do it. You have no idea what you're doing when you're a streamer. Absolutely none. Whether you're streaming here on Twitch, whether you're streaming on YouTube, whether you're streaming on Mixer, there's no, like, I looked up so many YouTube tutorials on how to set up my OBS. I mean, now it's like, oh yeah, click, 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 click. But back then, I was like, what is this bitrate system? What am I doing here? Like, why can't I just click it and go? Like, why am I lagging so bad? Like, I had no idea. None.
And I'm a graphic designer, as I told you guys, and I offer freelance services, and I do a lot of like their Facebook marketing. I hate Facebook, but they've helped me a lot too. But I have clients. I work mostly with nonprofit in my area, so I don't get paid for anything. But some of them were asking me, they're like, I want to live stream. Can you show us how to live stream so we can live stream to our pages? I'm like, I don't know how to, but I will look into it. And about the same time is when I decided to do live streaming for videos. I'm like, well, let's look at this way. I'll do it for myself, but at the same time, I'll teach myself how to do this and then show them how to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's what I do now. I help at least 6 or 7 nonprofits right now locally, and that's what we do. And one of them,
Girl,
I
you better start
actually
asking
go
those
to
people if they can
events.
pay you.
I'm too nice sometimes. I do get paid every once in a while, so it's not like completely free work. But one of them is a local musical festival, and so they're
Oh,
like, "We
cool.
want to do live stream of this." I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "Here, we'll set up you a spot and we'll do this." And that's what I do once a month in the summer. I live stream a music festival, which is awesome, and I have fun.
That's pretty dope
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, and I have a lot of fun doing it. They enjoy it because they're like, to them that's like the next new high tech thing, and they're like, we have so much fun. And like, even though where I live, it's like a hole in the wall basically. Like nobody goes there really, and it's kind of sad. It's one of the biggest opiate epidemic in the area. Actually, it's
Ooh.
really bad. So I do this because I want people to see the better side of our town.
Yeah.
And the last time we did a live stream, I think it was August, and the guy that runs the whole festival, he's like, okay, what are the numbers? So I gave him the numbers, and he's like, we had how many viewers online? We didn't even have 800 people show up. And I'm like, we had what was it, 65,000 viewers on here. And he's
That's
like,
awesome! Holy cow!
He's like, that's cool. And I'm like, you like this? And I said, the farthest viewer was in China. And he's like, what? I said, yeah, she even talked to us on the live stream. She's like, she was from the area. She was like homesick. So she heard about the festival being live streamed and she watched it. And she had a lot of fun.
That is so awesome!
And I'm like, so I have a lot of fun doing it. Not just because of the video gaming, but I have a lot of fun connecting people.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
That's just really cool.
Really awesome.
I didn't realize you did that. That's actually a really neat thing. I like.
It's hard, but
stuff
it's doable.
It is. It is hard. So then, what keeps you so passionate about gaming and streaming and just the community as a whole?
I like the communities. I like connecting with people. It's just my thing. Like, I like volunteering. It's never been like a lot of my friends know I volunteer a lot. Probably way more than most people. At one point in time, I was volunteering at a part-time job, and that was when I was in college. I don't think I could do that again, but that was a lot of fun, and I like connecting with people. I like getting to know the people. Because I don't just do it and then move on. I like to get to know the area, the people, and that's where I really have a lot of fun. And video games is a really good way to connect people because you'll meet people you never thought you would actually talk to in real life. I'm like, wait, what? You know, it's just fun.
I've made so many friends since streaming. I mean, and these are people that like live in Arizona, and we met and roomed with each other at BlizzCon 2 years ago. Like, just because of my streaming. Just because of streaming. Awesome. And so I totally understand that. I totally get it. It's you get to meet people that you never thought you would have ever gotten to meet. Like, I mean, you know, my husband and I met in a video game, so it's that same kind of deal. Like, had I not played that video game, I never would have ever had the opportunity to meet him. And same thing, like, had I not been streaming, I would have never met you or any of the other girl streamers or any of the other people that I support in the streaming community. So I love that you pointed that out, because that's one of my favorite things as well, is the people and the community. Because, I mean, we know people from, like, we have girls in Australia and Korea and or South Korea and, you know, all over the place. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of,
and you get to learn stuff that way.
Yes, you get to know,
and you get to understand people's point of views. I love learning other people's views. I think that's one of the biggest things about me.
Me
I'd rather
too.
learn about somebody from that way instead of assuming. I'm like, assuming don't get you anywhere.
Right. No, I am the same way. I love it. I absolutely love it because it grows you as a person.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you learn about other people and understand other people. Although I have recently found myself not quite as open and getting a little bit agitated with people lately. I think I need I don't know, I think I need like a break for myself from something just to collect and go, that's right, this is not what I do this for. I do it for this over here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Um, we all get there. We've all had those moments. So, what is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life? Would you say it's losing your mom, or would you say it's something else?
Definitely losing my mom, because like I said, I was really down, like severely down for a year. And I mean, it wasn't just like anything, because at the time when my mom got sick, like right before she got really, really sick, I actually quit my job. I quit a full-time job as a graphic designer at a marketing company and moved back home because I'm like, she really needs help. And I wanted to help her, of course. And so I moved back home, pretty much dropped everything to help her out. And then I felt like when after she passed, I felt like I let everybody down, because I have a big family. I'm number 3 of 4 kids. And I felt like I let everyone down. I felt like I let her down. I'm like, this wasn't supposed to happen this way. It's one of those things. So I was really down on myself. And finally, I got over that. And I realized that it's not my fault. Unfortunately, that's how life goes. And that certain things in my life I have no control over. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And my mom would be thumping me if she found out I was that down, something like that get to me, because that's just how my mom was. My mom was basically my cheerleader, if best way to put it. Because whenever I was down, she knew right away. She's like, you need to get up and do something about it instead of just sitting there.
Yeah.
And she was always that type of person. Don't just say it. She always taught us. She's like, don't just say it, just do it. She didn't like she did not like people that were out. She called them soapbox heroes. She's like, don't be a soapbox hero. Just go out and do it. Don't worry about anything else but yourself. And
I like to call them SJWs now, social justice warriors that just sit on Facebook and cry things instead of actually go out and do it.
Yeah. Like that, and at the same time, because my mom taught us that, like, my whole life, I it's a huge pet peeve of mine when I see people. I'm like, well, instead of complaining about it, why don't you actually do something?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how big of a thing you do, just do it.
Like,
it's gonna help someone.
Are you doing something more than just sharing your opinions on Facebook and Twitter?
Exactly.
No, then shut up, right?
Like I mentioned, we have a lot of problems. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of problems in my local town. I don't live in the town, but we have a lot of problems, especially with drugs, and really, really bad. They say the census is 1 in 4 people in my county is hooked on an opiate drug or prescription drugs, which is really, really bad.
Yeah, my aunt died.
People, I see it all the time on Facebook. Like, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Why is the city government doing this? And I'm like, why aren't you doing anything? I've never seen your face.
Why aren't you going to your representative and asking them why aren't they voting the way you want them to vote?
Like elections, and I'll point it out to people. I'm like, instead of just sitting at home, why don't you actually go out and vote for someone? There's 40,000 people in this town, and only 80 people voted tonight. Why weren't you one of them?
Exactly.
Like stuff like that. And I'm like, come on, guys, you can do better.
Exactly. Preach, girl. I feel you on that one. My aunt was her doctor. She was the last person to pass away in our family. The most recent we had a lot of deaths in 2016. She was the last one.
Yeah.
And you know my history, but as does everybody else, and we're here to talk about you. But recently, my cousin filed a complaint because we found her prescription. The doctor prescribed her 140 Loratabs, plus my uncle 140 Loratabs. My uncle was in a wheelchair and couldn't talk. There's no way those Loratabs were for him. She was taking 240 Loratabs a month. Yeah. That's what that doctor killed my aunt. So my cousin was like, I don't want this guy. He doesn't need to be practicing. He needs his medical license taken away. And the DEA showed up at her house when she filed a complaint 2 days later and was like, can we exhume your mother's body because we want to get this guy for murder, because they have 4 other cases and then her case, which would make it 5. And she's like, I'm not going to do that to my mom. No. But they're getting him. They are going after him for 4 counts of murder, plus they're going after the pharmacy for not questioning why she's getting so many Loratabs. It is so awful.
How many doctors?
It's such an epidemic in this country right now.
Yes, we had 10 years ago. We had, I think they said I don't remember the exact numbers, but they had like 10 pill mills. And I don't know if you know what a pill mill is. A pill mill is basically where you walk into a clinic and say, I have bad back. Can you give me a prescription? And they'll write up a prescription for whatever you want.
Yep.
As long as you pay for it right then and there, they don't care what you do with it. And it got to the point where they were shipping the prescriptions to, I think, Connecticut to have them filled, and the doctor and that pharmacy there will fill it up and send it back here. And
Holy
we've had
shit!
Oh yeah, it was bad. And at the time, I was working at the UPS store, so I knew like who all was coming in and what they were doing. They would make up lies like, "Oh, I need the next day to air this." I'm like, and it's this little box, and they're like, "Oh, it's a toy for my nephew. He needs it tomorrow." I'm like, "A toy? Next day? Do you know how much next day air costs for this?" It was like $80 shipping, and I'm like, "Yeah, toy, whatever." And we've had several doctors put in jail, lose their practice. Luckily, all these pill mills are now shut down completely.
Jeez, that's awesome.
We have one doctor right now that's still going through the court system. I mean, it's bad in this area, like really bad. They say we're probably the worst in compare. Like Huntington, West Virginia, they say is the center, but they say we probably are actually worse than them.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
and that says
crazy.
a lot. And then on top of that, we have a lot of issues with local government ignoring stuff on purpose in exchange for money. You know, the corruption. We have issues
Typical
with
politics.
Policemen corruption. It's to the point now that if you have a missing relative, they're actually telling people to go directly to the FBI instead of the local policeman.
What?
Because we have a lot of issues with that. I don't know if you heard about the documentary, The Missing Women of Ohio or something like that.
No.
It's about 8 women that went missing. Most of those women are from my area. So it's really bad.
Is it on Netflix?
I think so.
Missing Women of Ohio. Okay. I'm going to look that. I am a documentary nerd. I love documentaries. So don't tell me to go watch a documentary because I'll go watch it.
Well, I mean, have you heard about the murders? I think last year it's called with the Rodin family, where all of a sudden 8 people were killed in the middle of the night, and they still haven't found who murdered them. They were the next county over from us, and actually knew a couple of the family members. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
And our county sheriff and that county sheriff don't like each other at all because of other issues. And so they're having problems solving stuff because they won't work together. And I'm like, this is so stupid. We need to work as a community to get rid of these people in these positions.
Right? Yes. Like, y'all need to get over your petty squabbles and figure out what's going on in your communities. Exactly. Jeez, man, that is crazy.
And
Wow.
I mean, I admit it. I want my area to get better. Obviously, I want to see the best come out. But there's days where I'm like, I need to get out of this area because I do. I feel like I'm getting smothered at times, and just because of these petty issues that people have, like I'm not going to go into it, but I have issues with certain other little businesses in my area where they'll just lie about me. It's just to make me lose clients. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to continue being me and hope for the best. And I have noticed lately it's working out in my favor because people are coming back to me. They're like, we don't want to do business with them. We want to do it with you from now on. I'm like, okay.
That is the best way you can handle that. I had a girl. I worked at Home Depot for a while, and I transferred from one store to another because I moved, and but I had like a year and a half under my belt, and so as soon as I got to the next store, I was promoted to department head, and this girl started a rumor that I was sleeping with the managers because I got promoted so quickly. But the thing was, I had already had at that point I had 2 years with the company under my belt, whereas she had a year. So there's, I'd been with the company longer. I had seniority just because I hadn't been at that particular store for so long. And it actually kind of made my life hell for a little while there because, people listen to it at first because people want to listen to the gossip. But I went to HR and HR said, without proof, I can't do anything, which they can't. There's nothing they can do. But going to HR, making that known that that's not accurate, he's like, I know, I'm aware of the situation. Thank you for letting me know, and we'll, obviously monitor the situation. That's the best they could do. And after a while, it kind of turned on her because she kept pushing stuff so much. Because I ignored it and was like, all right, whatever. I know the truth, just like you know the truth. And honestly, that is the best way to handle those kind of situations. It sucks, and it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
But unless they are literally harming you, sometimes the best way to handle it is just ignore it.
Pretty much. It's an action, too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you just keep, obviously, you do a lot of good with all of the volunteer work that you do and stuff. So clearly people are going to see, okay, this doesn't add up. Something's not right here, right?
Yeah.
People eventually come around to the...
Oh, yeah. And people are starting to understand how I do stuff. And they're like, I respect that now. I'm like, I'm glad you understand me now.
Too bad you didn't understand me a while ago, and then you left and stopped working with me. I could have used that money then. So if you could give yourself...
Unfortunately, in the creative world, you come across issues like that a lot because of jealousy and stuff, and you're like, I just want to do my own thing. Leave me alone.
Right? Creative world. Yep, I know. I feel you, girl. I feel you.
As someone that doesn't like drama at all, I've gotten probably the most dramatic career.
It is kind of a dramatic career, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, alright, if you could give your past self 1 to 2 words of advice from the wisdom and experience you have gained up until now, what would they be? I think that's a great question to follow up everything we just talked about.
Keep going. Definitely, just keep going. Don't let anybody stop you. The only person that can stop yourself is yourself.
Yes.
And especially streaming, like there's times where I'm like, I just want to give up. I don't want to do this because I can't get over this hurdle and it's driving me nuts. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, just keep going. You got this. Just keep going. It's kind of like Nemo. Just keep going. Just keep swimming. And it's really like the best route to go. And I like when like I have a few friends that just started streaming themselves, and they're like, "How do you keep streaming and how do you stay up on this stuff?" I said, "Just keep going, just keep posting, just keep streaming, just do what you want to do. If you want to make this work, you'll make it work."
Sorry, I accidentally muted myself so you couldn't hear me anymore. I mean, you're right. You have to power through that hurdle. I was trying so hard to hit 1,000 because it took me forever to hit that 1K follower goal. And I didn't think I was ever going to hit it. Like, I hit my 500 just fine, but then
Yeah.
I kind of took a nosedive after a while and wasn't getting any regular followers on a regular basis. And it took a while to get back up to building that, and going from 500 to 1,000 was hard. Way hard.
I'm like that right now. Like I finally hit 1,000. I think I hit 1,200 recently, and
nice.
And right now, like, but lately I noticed I've been having issues trying to get people to talk to me, so I can keep gaming. And I'm like, I need people. I need someone. I just need someone to help me keep going, basically. And lately, it just seems like I'm on this plateau, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just do my thing.
Right? You hit those weird plateaus where you've got like, so you've got 1 to 2 people in your chat, but you've got like 750 people, and then you finally get to 1K, and then you're over it, but you still only have like maybe 4 people in your chat chatting. It's like, all right, I need to have more. How am I going to get more? It's just, it's one of those things, because if you look at the numbers of the, we'll say medium streamers, because we're still on the small platform. I'm not talking about the ninjas of the community. I'm talking about people that are slightly more, that have maybe 10 to 20K followers. They still don't have that many people in their chat. They maybe have 25 people in their chat actually talking. So
yeah.
If you look at the ratios and stuff, you're kind of on par with those 5 people at 1,200, followers and stuff. So that's another mindset. You gotta remind yourself that, yeah, you've hit that plateau, but you're also, it's okay that you don't have 1,000 people in your stream chatting. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just keep, like you said, just keep going. Just keep powering through it. Even with weight loss, it's the same thing. You gotta power through that plateau. You gotta get to the other side of the plateau.
Well, one of the big things, and I've been trying to tell people, I said, I've done the whole giveaway thing to try to get more people. It's at the same time, you want the quality people. You don't want the numbers. The numbers really, to me, I don't care about the numbers. I know people think I'm crazy for saying that. I don't care about the numbers. Yeah, I think it's awesome I got 1,200, but at the same time, like, how many of those people actually talk to me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find, I would rather have the quality than the quantity. Because having giveaways actually brings the toxic people to you, and sometimes you just don't want those types of people.
Agreed.
And so I still do a monthly giveaway. I used to do weekly giveaways, try to help my numbers up. And then it just got to the point where I'm like, I can't afford to keep doing this, number one. Number two, I'm not giving the type of viewers I want. And that's what I really want. I want that quality, not just the quantity.
Yeah.
And then, and I've been trying to teach other people, like, don't focus so much on your giveaways. Just do the giveaway, let it do its own thing. And you need to focus on your stream. Like, I'll admit, I can have boring nights on my streams. I'm not all like super into stuff or animated, I guess is the best way to put it. But I still try to be myself. I try to have fun, and it also depends like who's in the stream with me. And it's a lot of variables,
like when
you gotta
we're
keep in
playing
mind.
PUBG together, it's just nothing but laughs.
Yeah. Or a noise. I've actually accidentally broke a headphone once during a PUBG match.
No, you didn't.
Well, I have a bad habit of going like this after if I get mad, I go like this. I don't slam my hands or anything. And I did that. I had with a wired headset. It
Oh
grabbed my
no!
headset and slammed my headset down. And then one of my friends is like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Hang on, guys, time out, time out." I'm like trying to piece my headset together. I'm like, "It works, but not really." But I can still play. They're like, "How?"
Damn.
And then they tease me that I rage quit that day still. I'm like, I don't really rage quit because I'm not that type of person. I'm a really lax type of person. So when that stuff like that happens, it's a rarity.
So, my next question then is, what trait of yours are you most proud of?
Trait?
Yes.
I like being I like being lax. I actually had a boss in college telling me that I'd probably be more comfortable living in California than Ohio because there's such a lax community and communities in California. Like I looked at her and said, I don't ever want to go to California. And why don't you want to be in California? I'm like, they're so expensive out there.
I can actually confirm that some of the here's the problem with California. So the husband is from California. Yes, they are more laid back. They do tend to be more laid back in California. However, California people are a lot more fake than people over here on the east side.
I'm definitely
This is a generalization, obviously. It's not every person in California, but you do, if you're not perfect looking, because a lot of, especially in LA, outside of LA it's not as bad, but in LA around Orange County and Irvine and those areas, it's a lot more judgmental, which is the California most people think of.
Yeah.
It's a lot more judgmental. So, yeah, they're laid back, but they're kind of pretentious assholes. So...
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I have this anxiety problem. That's the only way I call it, an anxiety problem. And then I have this lax attitude most of the time. And, like, well, some of my friends don't even believe me that when I tell them I have anxiety. They're like, no way, you don't have anxiety. Or I tell them I don't like, I absolutely hate, like, group presentations and stuff. I don't even like being the center. To be honest, I was extremely nervous about this podcast because I don't like being the center of focus. And I think streaming has helped me a lot in that, of course. But like when I was in college, I had friends who were like, "Let's go do this." I'm like, "I'm not going center stage." And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Not that type of person. I'm a quiet type of person normally." And
would you
I'm
say
like,
that's your greatest insecurity then? Is just having to be forced in front of the camera per se?
yeah. Stream, like when I first started streaming, I didn't want to really put myself up. Like every once in a while, I still won't use my camera during stream just because I'm just not in the mood to deal with that.
Girl, I don't.
And
when I do creative,
people get on to me. They're like, "We want to see your face." I said, "I don't want you to see my face." But I still fight that every once in a while. People, I mean, to me, I know it makes the stream better. I can't deny that. Especially like people like seeing people's emotions. It's the human instinct. But at the same time, I got that anxiety holding me back there, and I try to deal with it best I can. And some days it just depends. It just depends. It's a day by day thing, to be honest. The whole anxiety issue.
Yeah. Oh, it totally is. I deal with depression and anxiety as well, and it's. I had my first panic attack at my first Dragon Con because it was so big, and if I can't get, I have a very inane sense of direction, so if I get confused and get lost and I don't know which direction I need to go, I go into a severe panic attack. And my panic attack was so bad, my first panic attack, because I didn't know what the hell was happening. My husband had to grab me and bear hug me because my panic attacks end up in seizures. And
Ooh.
I was like, but I don't, like, I'm there, I can see what's going on, I know what's going on, but my body seizes up and I just start shaking. So, but it's everyday thing. I mean, now I've gotten it under control, and I haven't had, in 2016 when I was suffering severely from depression, the anxiety, obviously anxiety comes along with depression for me. They're both part and parcel together. But since then, because I'm in a better place mentally, I haven't had to deal with the anxiety. Granted, I have happy pills now as well,
Yeah.
but coupled with, happy pills and therapy have helped immensely.
Oh yeah, it does. It's amazing what just those two things alone could do for you.
Yeah, it really
like
is.
I said, I used to suffer daily from panic attacks, and it used to keep me up at night. And it was to the point where my friends in my dorm were like, we can't stay up anymore to help you out, because we used to stay up all night and just talk. Or sometimes we used to go out to walk. I mean, that's not a wise thing to do it in university, especially in the middle of the night. So, I mean, luckily, at the time we had our cell phones and stuff, but I mean, it sucks. But because I actually got help for it now, I don't even remember the last time I had a panic attack. I think it was like last year, which is amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I have a panic attack, I'm my anxiety is through the roof. Like, I can't sit. I can't even watch movies.
Are you like a pacer kind of person when you get really anxious? Are you like a pacer? Do you pace up and down?
I have to move. That's why. I used to take bike rides in the middle of the night because of it.
Wow.
Just to get it to go down. I'm like, I need to sleep.
Well, you know why that happens? Because it's the endorphins from the exercise that helps your brain rebalance. It's a natural thing to help. So, I mean, it's not wise to do it at night by yourself, but I mean, there's a reason why movement and stuff like that helps. Yeah,
and like things. Now now that I'm over my depression stage and got that taken care of, I'm still working on my anxiety. So I got to work on that because of the whole depression issue.
Right.
And right now I'm actually working on trying to get back into a workout type schedule. And I did 3 sports in high school, so it's really hard for me to get back into it because I'm like, I need to do this and this and this, and I have to tell myself, you need to slow down. You haven't done any of this shit in years, so you need to chill out, or you're gonna kill yourself. I'm like, okay, I got this. It's all like a mind game, unfortunately.
It is. It really is. So we have about 20 minutes left. So if you guys have not gotten those questions in, get them in. You've got about 10 more minutes before questions will not be available, because you've got about 5 more minutes, and then we will close out the questions, and then we can do our 10 minutes of Q&A. So, have you ever been trolled?
I used to be a regular forum member, back in the day, the 10 years. I used to get trolled on a daily basis, and it kind of built this wall up for myself. So I know how to deal with the trolls now. I have not been trolled yet as a streamer, thank God. But I could pretty much pick up as soon as I can usually pick up who's going to be a troll as soon as I see it, especially like reading name or usernames and stuff.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Yep. That's why you read the username before you say it out loud if they follow. I'm a Centurion at Gaming Tribe, which basically it's a position in the community. It's kind of like a moderator, but it's more like I'm a role model. Not a role model, but like a representative of the community, because I don't have actual privileges like a moderator does. Oh, gotcha,
and
gotcha.
People,
yeah.
I come across trolls every once in a while just on there. Even though it's a rare thing on that site to come across a troll, but it's gotten to the point where I know exactly how to deal with it. Sometimes I know how to turn a troll into an actual member, like contributing, because I talk to them and I'm like, hey, that's not cool what you're doing. Is there something you need to talk, because it sounds like you need help or something.
Right.
And sometimes it helps, because usually there's a reason why someone's trolling.
Oh God, yeah. So what advice do you have for new people getting into streaming?
Definitely to keep going. Don't stop. Get involved in gaming communities, or if you're like a specific, like, say, you're a graphic designer and you want to show your work on your streams, but your work, you can't get the numbers up. Join communities. Like, I don't care. It could be a Facebook group for all I know, but join those communities. Get active in those communities. Say, hey, I'm live streaming tonight. You want to join me, or something like that? Ask people to join you to co-stream, because that's a good way to get numbers up big time.
Oh yeah, I find myself doing a lot
Be
of multi
active,
streams lately.
really. Just keep. My biggest thing was I couldn't keep a schedule, and I started using a schedule this past year, and it's actually helped my numbers tremendously. Like,
Yeah.
it blew my mind how just that simple thing helped me so much, because people are
Same.
expecting me, like, hey, why weren't you streaming last night? I didn't see you. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry this happened. And life does happen, unfortunately, but they like that schedule. People like schedules.
Because they can come back and they're like, okay, I know that I can make this stream, and that's how you also get the quality streamers, or the quality followers, because they know they can come back to you at that time and be able to be entertained or be a part of the community or whatever. That's how I hit 1K finally. I did a schedule, but I have not been making my schedule the last 2 months because real life has been all over the place.
I've been bad the last couple weeks myself, because I tried installing my own CPU cooler and I failed miserably. So I ended up taking it to a friend's repair shop, and he's like, do you realize you bent like half your pins on your CPU? I'm like, no. That's not good. He's like, it's okay. He's like, but he's like, but I need to pay the guy that helped me fix it. I'm like, how much is it? And he told me. I'm like, it's worth it, because I don't want it to deal with that again. But I got my computer back up and running after not having it for 5 days, I think. But oh my gosh.
So
I do not.
I've got 3 more questions for you. What is an ideal weekend for you?
What was that?
What is an ideal weekend for you?
Let's see. With family, actually, people call me weird, but I actually like hanging out with my family members. We have a lot of fun.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, people, after my mom passed away, people watch your siblings. I have 2 brothers and a sister. Like, your siblings are in your relationships going to fall apart. And I'm like, I know we're oddballs. I don't think it's going to happen. And it didn't happen. We actually got closer, which is weird. We all enjoy gaming. We all have our favorite things. Like, my older brother, he's one of those ramblers, and he has an extremely dry humor, which that's a family trait, unfortunately. He'll just he'll pop a joke in the middle of this, and he'll just stop talking. And I'm like, what's wrong, Charlie? He's like, I said a joke, but you didn't laugh. I'm like, I'm sorry. What was your joke? But we have fun when we hang out together, and I love hanging out with them. And I got 6 nieces and a nephew, and I love hanging out with them and talking to them, because it just cracks me up. And it's just the little things in life I really enjoy.
That's the little family things too, so I feel you on that. When I was afraid that the same thing would happen when we had all of our deaths, and no, it's just we're still chugging along and close as ever, and just keeping up with each other. And it's when you have a tight-knit family, it's all right, man. My brother moved to Colorado. I thought I was gonna never hear from him again. Yeah, no, because we both play video games. We play video games. We make sure to have a video game night once a week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So what are you most thankful for?
Family, definitely. Family and the friends I do have. I have some. Fortunately, colleges, you kind of drift apart.
Oh yeah.
But like, I have a really good friend that I graduated with in college, and honestly, I haven't seen her in 6 months right now. But I guarantee you, if I see her tomorrow, we'll talk like nothing happened, like, and we'll tease each other like we're sisters, and I love that, and I'm very blessed that I had that, because I know not everyone gets that chance.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
when I was in high school, I didn't have a best friend through elementary and high school. In junior high, I didn't have a best friend then. And then when I got into college, I kind of got overwhelmed because I had 3 of them all at the same time. I'm like, I don't want my freshman year to end, but it ended, unfortunately. And I met more people, and I met a lot of people I didn't care for, but at the same time, I met a select few that I absolutely love, and I've been wanting to go visit them and everything, and they're the same ways we actually enjoy each other.
So, my final question, and then I will ask the questions from the audience. What is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
Oh, I actually love being a graphic designer to the point where people told me I'm a little obsessed with it, but it's a passion. I've always wanted to be a graphic designer. I always wanted to be an artist since I was like could talk. People used to ask me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I'm like, "I want to be an artist." And then when I watched a short documentary on the Disney Channel about Toy Story when the movie came out. And they're like, this is how many graphic designers did this, and this is what they did behind the scenes. I'm like, that's what I want to do. Yep. And I'm very blessed I was able to go to school for that, because I actually had a teacher tell me that I would never graduate from college. Because they're like, I can't see you graduating from college. You just don't have that in you. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prove that you're wrong, lady. It took me 7 years to do it, but I finally graduated college. I have a degree in fine arts. And my degree title is freakishly weird, but essentially it's Visualist Digital Design and Interactive Media is my title, my degree. Which I tell people is basically a graphic designer with UX experience.
So
and I have a lot of fun with that.
Do you have animation experience then?
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay. So you're just straight like 2D. Well, I mean, I guess you could make 2D or 3D art as well, but it's just straight. There's no movement or anything with it.
No. Like, I've been trying to teach myself lately how to use Premiere and After Effects.
See, that's what I know. That's my specialty.
Yeah, that, and I you know.
Yeah.
But I love art, and I love the fact that I can combine my 2 favorite things is computers and art, and that's why I really love it and I enjoy it. And I geek, like, we went to the MoMA in Louisiana at New Orleans. And I geeked out there, and I went with my boss from college because it was an alternative break trip. And I worked with the community service department, basically. And I went, and I was geeking out. She's like, Dot, are you going to be okay? Because I don't know if I have to drag you out of here or what. I'm like, no, sorry, leave me alone. Because I've seen, like, all these artworks in person, and I've seen my art books. And I'm like, oh my God, I've seen this in my art book. This is so cool. And I'm a huge passion for it, and I geek out about it, and I can't help it.
I love it. I love it. So, all right, our Q&A. We've got 3 questions. Technically, we have 4, but one of them I actually asked in my interview, so we'll skip that question.
Okay.
Cindy asked, do you have any regrets in your career?
Any regrets?
Yeah.
I always say that I don't have any regrets, because whatever happened to me is what formed who I am today. Even the bad and the negative.
Fist pump. I feel you on that one.
And cause I've for a long time, I always try to be optimistic, because it's easier to be optimistic than being pessimistic all the time. Trust me. Like, I've been in that position where I was pessimistic. I didn't see the brighter side of things. And then I realized how much easier it was for me overall, just to be optimistic. Like, I can do this. I can do this. Who cares what they say? I can do this. And it can be really. People say it's easy to be pessimistic, but honestly, it's weird saying this, but you can fake being optimistic. It actually helps you out in the long run. It really does.
Fake
and I
it till
actually
you make it.
pretty much.
No, it like if you're not, there is like science behind that. Like when you're not happy, you smile. Eventually, you're going to become happy because you're essentially tricking your brain into being happy. So when you focus on that positivity and that optimism, your brain is going to start focusing on that. And there is actually science behind that. Even because when you suffer from depression and stuff, I mean, I shouldn't go into that because it's going to get a little too sciencey. But just know that your brain, when you suffer from depression, you do have certain things in your brain work differently, and certain things are smaller in your brain versus the person who doesn't suffer from depression. But when you focus on those positivities and that optimism, it helps create it helps create the serotonin that you need. Two, it helps grow those parts and replace those parts that need to be replaced and stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessarily replaced, but...
And I know a lot of people, I'm a huge believer. I don't like fake people, but to me, that's one of the few, that's the only exception to being fake, is you need to fake it to make it, like you said, and it makes you feel better. That's the only time you need to be fake, is when you're trying to be optimistic or avoid being pessimistic. It helps you, believe it or not. Yeah, if it helps you, you should do something about it.
Not that whole denial faking. Like, accept that shit happens, but smile through the shit, because it does get better. It does get better. It really does. Julie Vive asked, what's your favorite non-stream game thing to do?
Non-stream game thing to do?
Yes.
People tell me this is I have a weird hobby, yes. And I'm 31 years old and I have this hobby. I like antique stuff, and I like pricing it. I don't know why. I like to evaluate that. And I actually have a small consignment booth at a local antique shop where I sell stuff. I go to yard sales and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is actually a rare item. I need to buy it and sell it. And so I'll do that.
You're not a hoarder, you're a collector.
Yes.
Did you hear my husband? My husband just said yes. I'm not talking to him, but he just said yes. Wow. That is hilarious. So my husband, you are the female version of my husband, essentially.
But I get that. I think I get that because I grew up in an auction house, basically. My uncle was an auctioneer.
Oh, that's cool.
Before he was an auctioneer, he actually owned an antique shop. So I kind of grew up around that stuff, and I got used to it. It's just one of those secondary things in life, you know? And when I talk about it with some of my gaming dry friends, some of them will even say it. I'll mention, like, oh, that's an antique, that's worth about blah 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 if it's real, and they're like, how do you know this shit?
Husband's the same way. He does the same thing. Everybody calls him up like, hey, what do you think this is worth? And he's like, not so much. Da da da. All right, thanks, man. All right, I've got one more question for you, and then we got to close this out. So, Mr. Keys asked, do you play musical instruments? If not, would you want to learn one? And if so, which one?
Music instruments is another thing. Me and you talked about this before. I'm actually hard of hearing, so instruments is not like a secondary thing to me at all. And I tried playing the clarinet when I was in junior high. And from my understanding, it wasn't bad, but I had problems like with the finger movements and stuff, so I quit playing.
That's a complicated instrument to play. I used to play it.
I have a huge respect and passion for music. Don't get me wrong. It's just really hard for me to learn just because of the whole hard of hearing thing.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
like
when you can't hear what you're trying to create, it's hard to want to create it.
exactly. Like, with me, I have a hard time hearing certain tones and stuff, so it's hard for me to pick up. But if I can, like, clarinet wasn't too bad because I can actually feel it too, so it helped me a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize you played.
I always wanted to play the guitar, but I always had problems like with the finger movements. I was a medium mode Guitar Hero person, so if that tells you anything.
Well,
but
you gotta have big hands to play guitar and piano. Like,
yeah, it makes sense.
You really need good long fingers to be able to play both of those instruments, I think. And I never was able to. I know piano a little bit, but like I just can't. I just can't on the piano. I just can't. I just don't have the finger length for piano. And guitar, you can have short fingers for the guitar, but it's a little bit harder. And I'm trying to learn because I bought my husband Rocksmith, so I really want to learn how to play guitar since that's a good game to learn how to play.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I totally understand because I have hearing loss in my left ear. So, yeah. And I sing. So
more props to you.
it throws it off a little bit there. It throws it off. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. So where and when can we find you streaming?
I stream primarily on Twitch now since I'm a Twitch affiliate. And it's Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
All right. That's what's up. Thank you again for joining me. I had such a fun time.
You.
Didn't think we'd make it to a 2-hour podcast, did ya?
I had faith.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been a lovely cast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been... Ooh, that is super loud. I need to actually turn that down a bit. Sorry. There we go. There we go. This has been a Girlstreamer podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Girlstreamers is partnered with Loot Crate, Fresh Designs, Punk's Paracord, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, Glom Tom, and Sennheiser. Links to all these amazing partners are down below, so please feel free to click. Thank you guys for all of your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and player.me. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can visit our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. You can subscribe to us on Twitch or GameWisp, but don't forget, when you subscribe, you do get access to our Discord fan channel and buy some super cool gear in our online shop at designbyhumans.com/shop/Girlstreamers. Don't forget, we have our hashtag free kinky shirts in the shop. You can find iPixelDot on Twitter at iPixelDot. That's iPixeldot. And Twitch at twitch.tv/ you guessed it, iPixelDot. That's IP as in Paul, IXELD as in dog, OT as in Tom. Our next podcast will be June 3rd with Dacio right here, same time. This podcast is a part of the Two Lazy Dogs Media Group and the Girlstreamers community. Encourage, support, grow.